folks, it's J5 here, and this is episode 50 Surf Reports. And it just so happens that today is 1 year, March 16th. 1 year ago today, we made the decision in the morning, and then in the afternoon, the governor made the decision for us, and we shut down for 10 weeks. And so today is kind of a special 50 episode in just a 1 year. You saw the stuff we did last week, so I just wanted to kind of see what's going on with the coaches here and how things have been over the last year. We'll talk a little bit about, in the end, about what we look at in the next couple months, at least, for plans and that sort of thing. But how's everybody going today?
Real good. Can't complain.
I think Riley has a big announcement to make if you didn't watch our social media.
I got engaged over the weekend.
Riley got engaged over the weekend. It looked like South Columbus or something like that.
Something like that.
Looked something on a river. Yeah. Threw some sand in there. Riley went down south, got engaged. Congratulations to him. So what do you guys think about the last year?
I would say it was probably one of the hardest years for a lot of people for many different reasons, but I also think it was a good time to reflect and maybe get more in touch with like other things to do other than just work. Maybe you became closer with your family or your friends and just valued that time more. I know that I personally missed that probably the most over the past year, so that taught me a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Jess said it very well. I mean, I think there's a little bit of balance about it. You know, we all got to spend 10 weeks at home with our family and friends, at least to a degree, or maybe in more so of an isolation. But, we've been back at the gym for almost 10 months, and there was a lot of changes we had to make things work and flow smoothly. But I'm happy we've been able to sort of transition to what I would seem to be, normalcy at this point. And it's good to have things kind of back how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Jess was, I remember it, right? It was a Monday morning. I think I was coaching or whatever, or Sue was, and I came in and we talked that morning, and I had talked to a bunch of gym owners around the city, and we felt that it was the right decision to make, right? The responsible decision to make. What we now know, the term everybody likes to use is out of abundance of caution, right? You hear that all the time now. And so we kind of said that, hey, but we thought it was probably like 2 weeks. We'll be close to 2 weeks, maybe 3. I think realistically, talking to some other gym owners, we were hoping, by the end of May, though, realistically. And we didn't know what was going to happen. We had this preview with the Arnold. Ohio did a little differently than everybody else, right? They didn't say, hey, you can operate at a certain level or percentage. In fact, he didn't even shut everything down right away. It was the 16th he shut down. I think he saw the impending St. Patrick's Day, which is tomorrow, and looked at mass gatherings and stuff. I got to do something. And then if you remember correctly, it lingered for a week.
Yep.
Right, and then he shut down everything on the 23rd, right? And that's where we had the stay-at-home order, locked down, and really knew that it was probably going to be a little longer than 2 weeks, right? What was born out of it, right? The grid pattern in the gym, right? So we started out with how many? 10 spaces, right? We just split the gym in half, right? Is that how we did it?
Rig was in the middle.
Rig was in the middle, 5 spaces on each side, right? And we expanded to 12, and then we added 2 more spots. And then, but we really didn't use the rig too much.
No, every barbell movement came from the floor.
Yeah.
Really the first
2 months?
Maybe even longer than that.
Yeah, we took a lot of things off the floor. Didn't want to, you to be staring somebody in the face with the rig. It might make for some awkward situations, especially if you go for that big lift or something like that and spewed something, aerosols as we like to know them now. So we moved the rig to the side, and we got 15 spaces here, and I don't know if the tape will stay, but the idea of the spaces surely will.
Absolutely.
Just because it's kind of a pain in the butt to take it up every 2 weeks and do different things, and if you leave it there for too long, you get these little lines and it won't ever come up. We did that one time, right? We left it for 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe, and we were scraping the little pieces off. So yeah, it's been about, like Riley said, about 10 months since we've opened. How has life changed at home, right? So your fiance, right? She worked from home for most of the time?
Yeah, she started full-time work in August and is working at home full-time since then with no return in sight as of right now.
So how did that work? How has that been? You got engaged, so I guess it's been all right. But how's that been over the last 10 months or 12 months? Good for the relationship, I'm guessing? Or
yeah, absolutely. We obviously spend a lot more time together, as if most people did with their families if they happen to live with them. You're kind of forced to stay at home and not do as many social things, and we ended up getting a dog, which helps a lot, so that's always fun as well. Makes staying at home a little bit better.
I think everybody got an animal, except me. Except me, that's fine. I don't need that.
Goldfish.
Yeah, a goldfish. I'll try not to kill it. So Jess, you Indy was in school, out of school, but not necessarily in home all day. But still a good experience.
Yeah, things were good. I'm very, very routine, so I still woke up at the same time. I was able to cook more than what I do throughout the week. We really didn't eat out in person. We did a few takeout from local places once those opened up, but spent a lot of time at home. But
yeah.
Just like anybody else did, I suppose. But yeah, things were good.
Yeah, and like we talked about last week, Jess had a kind of like a garage gym that she kind of put some time in and stuff like that, and still lifted a barbell a little bit. And where Riley talked about how he had done a lot of the body weight stuff, a lot of the stuff that we were preaching to our members. You guys both had done a great job of doing Zoom classes.
Yep.
5 a.m. Zoom.
Yeah, it was interesting, obviously, but I think it kept people engaged, and the things you heard from the coaches, right, about accountability, making it fun, just getting active, it was important for everybody's not only physical well-being, but I think one of the things we learned, right, is that mental health
For sure.
that is very important. We know that, but I think what we know now is the gym is very important to mental health.
Yes.
Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, people have addictive personalities. We have alpha personalities, and we need to do something. And the gym is sometimes that outlet, right, to get to work off the stress of the day, or helps for those 5 and 6 and 7 a.m.ers, right, for them to have a good day because they've started the day on the right foot. And of course, the first step is, right, just showing up through that front door and making the effort. Maybe you don't want to get up and come in. I know you guys, I don't like to get up at 4 a.m. or whatever and come in, but just doing that is, I think, is important. So, what do you guys have anything else to say about the last year?
I think you summarized it well. I think you covered all the bases.
All right.
You asked us how was it for you?
Okay.
No, I think the last year was good. It was we had an idea. Every year I go into the year thinking about what we're going to do, right? Whether it's purchasing equipment, capital improvements to the gym. That could mean a new heater, or in this case, new bikes. We did do some bike stuff. We kind of got rid of the old bikes, got some new bikes.
That everyone loves.
Yeah, everybody loves the bikes, and now we got a couple more, so everybody can have their own bike. I know that everybody really enjoys that. But a lot of the other capital improvement things we had to put on hold, so because we didn't know what was going to happen from a revenue standpoint. Capital improvements don't happen without capital, and with no capital really coming in, we had to kind of look. So we looked at what we could do. Right, the wall behind me, I slaved with the projector and tape and got that all done, and then put that up there, and it worked out all right. We did some other changes. Repainted all the walls, actually. That was the first week, wasn't it? Yeah, right. Before even the shutdown happened, we painted all the walls white again. It had been 2 years. And we're coming up on 3 years in this location on Ridge Street. There's a lot going on, so I just kind of did that and then just kind of muddled through, got all the to-do list done. Started doing some more beer reviews, just something fun to do, some surf reports. So what's going on now is that now we can look at some capital, right, and some capital improvements. So one of the things you're going to see in the next 4 weeks is the garage door, even though it should be open pretty soon, it's going to turn into it's going to be a glass garage door. So the whole garage door is going to be clear, essentially, other than the frame. And so you'll be able to see out. So especially those 5 a.m.ers and 7 p.m.ers and stuff like that, as the garage door may be shut, and especially in the winter time frame, you're going to see the sun. You're going to see the outside a little bit more, because these couple windows just aren't doing it. So that's from a capital improvement standpoint. This area is drastically changing within the last year. We had the daycare open. Davenport Aviation moved the daycare open. That's kind of been a little bit of thing. We have some, great folks that have done that. And the big thing that's happening out here is Sheets is happening, it looks like, right? It goes before the Grandview Planning Commission on Thursday, but I think that's a done deal. And so they should start tearing ground up real soon, so you're going to see Sheets. So that's kind of been the last year, and what we look at from a capital and this area kind of standpoint. Some of the things on the agenda, right, in the immediate future. We're coming up middle of March. It seems like yesterday was March 1st. I don't know. It's just like today's the 16th, right? It's just flown by. We're looking at partner workouts starting when we feel like we can open the door and allow some ventilation. What we've talked about is 8 a.m. being a partner workout, 24 people in that class. If you don't feel like doing partner workouts or don't feel comfortable with those people in the class, or just want to do your own thing, we'll have another option for that. But I think we'll do partner workouts probably starting the 10th of April. I've looked at the weather report, skipping the first weekend, which is Easter weekend, and probably the 10th, which is the second weekend of April. Masters weekend, I think. And not that that really matters. But and then look at that, and then 9 a.m. maybe a Fit 30 return. We'll probably do that at about 9:15. That way there's not people coming in at 9 and 24 people leaving. And then the next thing we're going to look at, right, is Murph, right? If you remember last year for Memorial Day, we had just opened back up. We did a little workout in a park in Grandview that didn't need any equipment per se. This year we're going to do Murph, and we did Murph on 4th of July, which was hot and not the funnest thing in the world, and people had other plans, and I think people traveled and stuff like that. So we're going to return to a Memorial Day Murph, and we're going to do heats, probably non-capped heats, meaning anybody can sign up, but at 6 a.m., 7:30 a.m., and 9 a.m. with cookout at like 10. May add a 10:30 or 10 o'clock in there too. So those are kind of the two things we look at: partner workouts and Murph, and the door opening and getting some ventilation. And we'll kind of see how everything kind of progresses from there. I don't know that there's too much stuff going on for July 4th. We probably will do Return of the Unknowns on July 4th, which we had done in the past. And we'll go over that. That's about the only time of year we do wall walks until, for a couple of you, this last weekend. But 21 wall walks, if you make it that far, no fun either. So yeah, that's what's going on, I think, and that's kind of the year in review for episode 50, right? Guys, have anything to finish out?
I'm all good.
All right, Jess, all good. Well, hey guys, I appreciate you coming and joining us today for episode 50. It is Tuesday, March 16th. 1 year ago today, we were shut down. The world was kind of shut down. So be safe out there. Get your vaccinations. Both you guys get them when you get a chance, right? And let's be healthy, and surf's up.